We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.
mBridge, just to mention to you what that is, because the Bank of Israel is an observer to mBridge as well. So that is the only current project within the BISIH that is using DLT for the purpose of cross-border payment. So the idea is that we build a common protocol or a common platform where CBDCs can facilitate atomic settlement in the cross-border context. Now, you all know cross-border is plagued by high cost, low speed, low transparency. For example, you don't know where your payment is. At least that's what used to happen to me all the time. I send a payment to Europe, and where is it exactly? You don't know. Now, it is improving with Swift GPI, so I do want to point that out. There are operational complexities, the exact same that Lian showed you for Sella, which is the many intermediaries, and therefore the impact on needing to hold liquidity is actually the same in a cross-border chain. It's very similar. So you could eliminate actually a lot of this cost as well. And lastly, we say something called limited access, because as a result of the global fines that have been imposed on the correspondent banks, which were very significant in size, a lot of the correspondents have withdrawn from many markets. And as they withdrew, these markets become excluded from the financial system. So we call this jurisdiction financial exclusion. This project is the only one that achieved an actual real value pilot. And what that means is we sent real value through the platform. There was a total of 20 participating commercial banks, 4 per jurisdiction of 4 jurisdictions. There was a total of 163 payments, totaling $22 million. And this went without actually a hiccup. So the good thing was there wasn't a need for severe intervention from our side. So this project, we're trying to drive it in the direction of an MVP, which is a minimum viable product, but which would also be a live product. So it is a system that stays up and running. That's where we're trying to go to. And we're trying to achieve that by, I could say, the middle of next year.
What is up, everybody? I'm Mr. Man. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to go over mBridge with you because there's been a lot of questions and speculating around what mBridge is, what cryptocurrency uses it. I'm not going to give any clarification into what cryptocurrency uses it. I will let the video speak for itself. And of course, everything is proof of concept until it's not. So, what is mBridge? Project mBridge is an initiative that involves experimenting with a multi-central bank digital currency or CBDC platform for cross-border payments. It aims to address insufficiencies in cross-border payments such as high cost, low speed, and operational complexities while safeguarding currency sovereignty and financial stability. The platform is based on a new blockchain called the mBridge Ledger and is built by central banks to support peer-to-peer cross-border payments and foreign exchange transactions using CBDCs. It also ensures compliance with legal requirements, regulations, and governance needs. The project is a collaborative effort by the BIS or BISIH Innovation Hub for 4 founding central banks and 25 observing members. The project involves central and commercial banks from China, Hong Kong, Thailand, and the UAE, and it aims to provide faster, cheaper, and more transparent cross-border payments. The individual speaking in that clip is Benedict Nolans, and she's from the HKMA, Bank of International Settlements. And she was talking about the MVP, the mBridge MVP, which is the minimum viable product. And that goes live, she said, in Q2, sometime in the middle of, not Q2, in the middle of the year 2024. That's this year that we are in. So there are different tiers or different steps, if you will, in terms of MVP and then what happens next. So after the minimum viable product or the MVP, the next stage is often the minimum marketable product. And again, the MVP is live. This is a live product. And I need you guys to know and understand that. But there will not be billions of dollars or trillions of dollars flowing across the mBridge project yet. Why? Because that requires T+0 settlement times for mBridge CBDCs to be used at that point. So, or minimum marketable product, an AMP, which is the minimum marketable product, is the first version of the real product. So we've determined that to utilize Project mBridge, you need T+0. Who do we have now and going live soon in this year that has achieved T+0? China is on T+0, and India is transitioning to T+0. Check this out.
Change in the roadmap that has been agreed because as part of our consultation, if you recollect, we had said that we will move optionally to 1 hour settlement, and then we will move to instantaneous. Now, what the market infrastructure and the brokers together have come back and told us is that the technology path that they need to take to get to instantaneous settlement will be much better if the first step we take is not 1 hour settlement but T+0. So there is I would say, in between step which has undergone a change based on the consultation. So their feedback was it will be quicker and less expensive to move to T+0 and then move to instantaneous rather than to move to 1 hour and then to instantaneous. So since that roadmap is now working out very well, we feel that the incremental benefit of inserting a 1 hour in the middle may not be there. So we'll move to T+0 and then instantaneous. The progress is very good. A lot of discussion has happened and the roadmap is pretty much agreed now.
And this will be a parallel system, or this will
parallel? It's a parallel system, completely optional. And there will be, so for instance, I think in T+0, only non-custodian accounts. So there are some, what shall I say, categories of investors, given the way that the technology works and what is required. So there are some categories, large categories, where it will be available on an optional basis. Timeline, roughly speaking, I think for T+0 is before the end of this financial year, so meaning before March, and then another 1 year from there, instantaneous.
So I think it's safe to agree that we have China and India going live when mBridge goes live, which will be in the middle of this year, 2024. India is transitioning to T+0 in March, so they'll be ready. They are transitioning next month, actually. Today is February the 6th or the 7th. I don't even know anymore. But Canada and US, EU, Mexico, they are transitioning in May 28th, 2024 to T+1. So they will not be utilizing these rails. And I believe when mBridge goes live, it'll just be for intra-bank settlements to start off with, moving not high value, but still just the minimum viable product, because it's not the minimal marketable product yet. They're not going to be marketing it to other central banks and to other entities yet for use. They still have, this is just a minimal viable product to go live. That's where we're at. So now that we've come this far, you still may have questions and have some puzzlement. What is mBridge? How does it work? Let's demystify these questions by showing you exactly what mBridge is, exactly how it works, and keep in mind there are 25 observing banks in this. So there are the HKMA, the UAE, the Bank of Thailand, and the BIS as the hosts of this project. Oh, and the Central Bank of the UAE as well. They're the host of this project. And we have 25 observers, as Benedict Nolan had said in the introduction to this video. Let's see what Project mBridge actually is with the mCBDC, which is the multi-CBDC.
Currently, there is a multi-day delay between payment and settlement for a typical cross-border transaction processed via the correspondent banking network. Conceptually, central bank digital currency, CBDC, can be used to substantially increase transaction speed from taking several days to near real-time, while also reducing cost by up to half. The Multiple CBDC Bridge, or mBridge project, is a cooperation between the BIS Innovation Hub Hong Kong Centre, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, the Bank of Thailand, the Digital Currency Institute of the People's Bank of China, and the Central Bank of the United Arab Emirates to enhance the efficiency, lower transaction cost, and streamline the regularity compliance requirements among different jurisdictions by using digital currencies and distributed ledger technology. To further test, improve and expand the functionality of the mBridge trial platform, a total of 22 private sector participants from 4 participating jurisdictions have identified 15 potential business use cases where CBDCs can be used to speed up payment and settlement. International trade settlement, programmable trade finance, supply chain financing, interoperability with digital trade finance platforms, capital market transactions, atomic settlement of tokenized corporate bonds, securitized FX spot futures and derivatives, Wealth Management Connect, digital native corporate bond issuance, dual currency FX derivative. Other potential use cases: insurance payments, commercial payments, cross-border low-value payments aggregation service, cross-border e-commerce. The total value of international trade transactions between the 4 participating jurisdictions amounted to more than $730 billion. Given that the mBridge platform offers a unique opportunity to improve the speed and lower the cost of these transactions, the mBridge Steering Committee has given priority to this use case. Testing of sample trade settlement transactions across 11 industries has commenced on the trial platform. The project is using an agile and iterative development approach combined with a modular bricks design that enables participating jurisdictions to contribute functionality, connectivity, and interoperability with standing and future systems. The ultimate goal is to achieve a minimum viable product and eventually production-ready system that can support the full process of international trade settlement and, in due course, other use cases proposed as part of the project. We look forward to continuing our contribution to the international dimensions of this work, including by welcoming more central banks and private sector participants to our agile and experimentation-driven journey founded on the principles of do no harm, compliance, and interoperability.
So mBridge is a private permission platform, so you and I won't be using it anytime soon. However, it's solely for CBDCs, and to my knowledge, there's 2 types of CBDCs that'll be flowing across that. And I don't mean like retail and wholesale. I mean there are the private CBDCs or hybrid CBDCs, and then there are the stablecoin-backed CBDCs. Let me show you this. So now that we all are somewhat, I want to say, on the same page, so there's going to be the straggler still who doesn't fully understand it, and I get that. You're allowed to not understand everything that comes to you immediately. Sometimes it takes some time to let it just sit in your head and marinate. So what I want to do now is show a more robust video, which will provide a more in-depth look at what the mCBDC or what the mBridge project looks like and how it'll be executed on.
Interest in CBDCs has grown in response to changes in payments, finance, and technology, as well as the disruption caused by COVID-19. A 2021 Bank for International Settlements survey of central banks found that 86% are actively researching the potential for CBDCs, 60% are experimenting with the technology, and 14% are deploying pilot projects. In simple terms, a central bank digital currency, or CBDC, could be used by individuals to pay businesses, shops, or each other with a retail CBDC, or used between financial institutions to settle trades in financial markets as a wholesale CBDC. Central banks are exploring whether CBDCs could help them to achieve their public good objectives, such as safeguarding public trust in money, maintaining stability, and ensuring safe and resilient payment systems and infrastructure. If successful, CBDCs could ensure that as economies go digital, the general public would retain access to the safest form of money, a claim on a central bank. This could promote diversity in payment options, make cross-border payments faster and cheaper, increase financial inclusion, and possibly facilitate fiscal transfers in times of economic crisis, such as during a global pandemic. The Bank for International Settlements Innovation Hub intends to contribute to this area through applied technology research, proofs of concept, and prototypes with central banks around the world. One such project is the Multiple CBDC Bridge. The Multiple, or mCBDC Bridge, is a wholesale central bank digital currency co-creation project involving the BIS Innovation Hub, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, the Bank of Thailand, the Digital Currency Institute of the People's Bank of China, and the Central Bank of the United Arab Emirates. The project, first initiated by the Hong Kong Monetary Authority and the Bank of Thailand under the name Inthan and Lion Rock, was renamed mCBDC Bridge upon the joining of the BIS Innovation Hub Center in Hong Kong, the Digital Currency Institute of the People's Bank of China, and the Central Bank of the United Arab Emirates, announced in February 2021. Its aim is to propose solutions and concepts to alleviate the current pain points in making cross-border fund transfers. These include inefficiencies, high costs, and complex requirements for regulatory compliance. Leveraging enterprise Ethereum blockchain technology, the mCBDC Bridge will further explore the capabilities of distributed ledger technologies by developing a POC prototype to support real-time, cross-border, foreign exchange payment versus payment transactions in multiple jurisdictions operating 24/7. It will analyze business use cases in a cross-border context with both domestic and foreign currencies. The participating central banks will take the results of the POC work into account to evaluate the feasibility of the mCBDC Bridge project for cross-border fund transfers, international trade settlement, and capital market transactions in their own jurisdictions. The mCBDC Bridge project fosters a conducive environment for more central banks in Asia, as well as other regions, to jointly study the potential for distributed ledger technology to enhance the financial infrastructure for cross-border payments. mCBDC Bridge is a multi-currency CBDC platform used by central and commercial banks to streamline key financial, economic, and regulatory activities. Using the platform, central banks can issue CBDCs, which commercial banks can use to perform cross-border payments and fund transfers instantly. Central and commercial banks can also trigger liquidity-saving mechanisms to relieve gridlock between network stakeholders, either within a single local jurisdiction or between different jurisdictions with different currencies. And thanks to mCBDC Bridge, central banks can automate key regulatory operations such as monitoring banks' wallets and transactions in real time, setting threshold limits for their currency, and reducing the balance of commercial banks with holdings above the limits. At the same time, commercial banks can provide automated reporting to comply with local regulations. The use of a decentralized network will guarantee that the platform is highly secure and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This demo illustrates 4 key features of the mCBDC Bridge platform: the issuance of CBDCs by a central bank, the foreign exchange of 2 different CBDCs, the transfer of a CBDC between 2 commercial banks, and the redemption of CBDCs from a commercial bank at the central bank. To start, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, a central bank, issues 1,000 Hong Kong dollars in CBDCs to a Hong Kong commercial bank, Bank A. Then, the Hong Kong commercial bank, Bank A, triggers the platform RFQ mechanism to exchange 500 Hong Kong dollars in CBDCs against 2,000 Thai baht in CBDCs with a Thai commercial bank. Later, the Hong Kong Commercial Bank, Bank A, transfers 2,000 Thai baht in CBDCs to another Thai commercial bank. Finally, any bank can redeem the CBDCs with the central bank. mCBDC Bridge has been designed to allow more central and commercial banks to be onboarded to the platform smoothly, and its design also makes it easy for new features and use cases to be built onto the system.
I do hope you guys learned something today. I hope I was able to relay this message and the information on what Project mBridge is with the multi-CBDC or mCBDC and how it'll function within our physical world. I look forward to catching you guys on the next one. Nothing but love.
We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.